So I'm going to say for the first example to solve using the ZPP. Okay, this is in your notes. Solve using the ZPP. Well, here's your first example. All right, these are pretty easy. So this is easy because it's already factored for you. So this is already factored for you. And they're not all going to look like this, the problems, but some of them will. So, like I said, maybe not very easy to understand, but easy to do. You're going to set each factor equal to 0. And why are we doing this? It's because when you multiply two things together and it equals 0, that means that either one of them was 0 or the other one was 0. So I multiply two mysterious unknown numbers together. The product is 0. That must mean logically that one of them was 0 or the other one was 0. It's just a fact. So therefore, that means that this factor, this value, must have been 0, or this value, the x minus 3, must have been 0. That's why we're doing that. If you don't understand what I'm really talking about, the gist of what I'm saying, it's okay. Just do this and solve each little simple equation. We have here. So you add 3 to the other one. Subtract 2 from the first one. So you have two possible solutions for x. Why is this the case? Well, this is the case because, think about it, if we plug in -2 for x here and here, then this factor will be 0. But what is this one going to be? Well, that one's going to be -5. But 0 times -5 is 0. We could also plug in 3 for x in both places, except this one now will be 0, and this one will be +5. 5 times 0 is 0 as well. So we have two possible solutions for x. That's why we do this. And this is called using the zero product property. Now we also have questions that look somewhat like this. Which look a little different. That's a 2, by the way. So what you do is, like, you do exactly what I just did in the last one. That's what you do. You set this one equal to 0, and you set this one equal to 0. Except the second factor is going to have 2 steps. What's the first step? Like we did in the linear equation. Undo the +2. Then divide both sides by the coefficient undo the times 3. So your answer is a fraction, you see. Okay. So you can see how that works. You make 2 linear equations and you solve them separately, and you get your 2 answers right here and here. Let's do one more example for the video. So what you're going to do here is, in this one you're going to have to solve it, but now it's not factored. So you have to factor and solve that. Now if you're watching this video, why don't you can pause and try it on your own if you'd like. But we have to factor this. This is very simple. What 2 numbers multiply to 3 and subtract to 2? We have one option of numbers, 1 and 3, right? So one of them's 1, one of them's 3. We know the x squared splits. One of them's 1, one of them's 3. Well, which one is going to be negative? The bigger one. Bigger one's negative. So that's 3. So we had to factor that first. So as a step off to the right, I just say factor first, factor, and then use zero product property. The zero product property says if two numbers, two values, multiply together and they make 0, therefore either that one must be 0 or that one must be 0. So we're going to set both of them equal to 0 to get our two options. This one must have been 0 or this one must have been 0. And we're going to solve for x in both cases. You see how that works? It's pretty simple, except there's two steps now. Factor first, then use the zero product property. And I'm 6 minutes in. Maybe I can do one more example, but